Okay, so Pete Davidson appears to have moved on from Kim Kardashian, according to a number of news outlets. Pete is dating, dun dun dun, Emily Ratajkowski. Sources told Us Weekly they've been talking for a couple of months, and they really like each other. Pete and Kim ended their 10-month relationship back in August, and Emily split from her husband in July after nearly 4 years. Pete seems to be in demand these days. Even Dionne Warwick herself wants in on the action. Yesterday, she tweeted, "I will be dating Pete Davidson next."
Yes.
So, Erica, what is it about Pete Davidson? These are like the hottest women on the planet.
Yeah, he's on the list.
What do you mean?
He's on the list. So back in the day, there used to be this thing called the good girl list, because generally it was like women being vetted for dating like upper echelon athletes, stuff like that. And essentially it's a vetting. Like, if this person feels like you're worthy of being their partner or whatever, then if it's good for this person, then it's good for me too. So as opposed to like in normal life, you know, your friend dates someone or someone in your circle dates someone, this isn't normal. So you end up on these lists where the people that are upper echelon, other people look at it and decide that you're good enough for them too. And he's on like the biggest list there is.
Is this a real list, or you're just being figurative?
You've never noticed, like, I mean, you can see it in Hollywood all the time.
List? Who has this big scroll?
Is there like a group text?
No, it's not a group text. It's just this thing that people are like, oh, so that must mean that, you know, X, Y, and Z about this particular person, which also fits my criteria. And that's the reason why you see, I mean, you see all the time, like, this famous person's dating this famous person, and they're only like 1 or 2 or maybe 3 degrees of separation.
Okay.
And a part of that is why.
Al, we need to get you on that list, buddy.
Yeah, I know,
let's get
right?
you on that list.
Come on, let's. Where's
Erica,
that?
find
Erica,
out
forward that to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't been in any lists in quite some time.
Jeff, you're making a face.
No, I didn't mean like, I just meant I'm married. Like, I'm not on the list.
Yeah, I don't care about his list. I care about his list, not the list.
No, you love Emily Ratajkowski.
Well, I'm married, but
I know, but so what do you think
it's going to be a slow ride home day?
No, she knows. Me and my wife talked about this yesterday. Like, I mean, some of my laminated list, my own, like Emily Ratajkowski's on the top. What's her name?
Anna de Armas.
He's not there yet. No, he's not there yet.
Yeah, he's not dating her yet.
He's not there yet. What's the other? Kate Beckinsale.
That was his. Yep.
Yeah, I know, Sam. I'm naming the list. It's just incredible. I don't know. This guy, I don't know what's going on.
Okay, this might be a little too surgical, but Sam, I want to get your opinion on this. Do you think it's now that he has so much cachet and he brings so many eyeballs to whoever he dates that, I'm not saying it's all the publicists, but the publicist management might be like, hey, you know, you haven't had a project in a while. Let's drum up some interest. Because we would be talking about her if she was not dating Pete Davidson.
My husband said the same thing, because we also had this discussion this morning. We were like, whoa, what is it about Pete Davidson? Now, I've always been attracted to Pete Davidson, way before like the Emily Ratajkowski, the Kim Kardashians.
I believe you. He's very much your type.
Yeah, and I think what is his type is not only his physicality. I like that, like, they call it heroin chic. Like, that's not, I'm not being disrespectful, but like somebody that looks like that they've like been around the block a little bit, but at the same time has a big.
It's a great way to introduce him to your folks. Now look, he looks like he's been rolled out of a river. He's a good guy.
But someone that has a big heart. He is a big heart.
I said it, yeah.
Okay, and he does seem that way. He like, his mom is his everything. He's very kind. Even when I dressed up like Pete for Halloween, I had, no lie, you guys can attest to this. Yeah. And we have the picture of me as Pete, but I had a bevy of groupies in the corner. I had Sierra. I had Kelly Schubert. I even had Michael Dean. Michael Dean told me I could say this.
You're putting people's government names out there, though. Tell him MD.
Yeah. Michael Dean said I could say it.
I know, I'm messing with you, Sam, but I'll say this. I think on behalf of all guys, we don't like to hear this, he's nice to his mom and all. Like, because I think there's a lot of guys that have that, but they don't get Emily Ratajkowski. Like, I feel like you guys always go,
I love my mom.
We want somebody with a sense of humor. Yeah, it's like we want somebody with a sense of humor. Like, we hear that from women all the time. I'm like, I'm a professional comic, and they're like, yeah, but Pete. Yeah, it's like, well, I guess he has a stand-up too, but, you know.
We got to move on, but is it something that he's broken? Because Karen said something.
Ooh, that's interesting.
They're like, women like taking care of broken men in some sort of way. I heard that off camera.
And also, he seems kind of unattainable, too, because he's gone through so many people it hasn't settled down, so maybe There's that attraction?
He's the character from Place Beyond the Pines, which is Ryan Gosling as a motocross guy that's broken but has a big heart. And then Eva Mendes comes and swoops in and saves him. Yes, so Karen is right. Karen's not here today, but Karen's
You did
right.
point to an empty
desk. He also has this long portfolio in terms of exes that are considered like the hottest women on the planet, and he's on the list.
Yeah, so if you date him, you're officially
I think we got it.
We're getting Al on that list. We're getting Al on the list. Okay, so some fans of Jeopardy are slamming the show over what they say was an insensitive clue. It had to deal with Brian Laundrie, who killed his fiancée Gabby Petito in Wyoming last year and later ended his own life. Now, the clue, which appeared on Celebrity Jeopardy, read, in 2021, fugitive Brian Laundrie ended his days in Florida. Florida's Maya Hachi, I knew how to pronounce it, except it's broken up in the prompter, but Creek area, home to these long and toothy critters. The answer was alligators. Now, one person tweeted, not Celebrity Jeopardy, using Brian Laundrie as a clue for alligators. That's so distasteful and wrong. Could have used anything else for a clue. Now, you watch Jeopardy, you love Jeopardy. What would you say about this? If you were watching it in your living room, would you think, okay, that's insensitive?
Well, it's a huge, it's a very strange departure for Jeopardy, because generally when a name, someone's name is used in a clue, it's considered an honor. It's a way of like elevation, like you've made, you know, your stamp on pop culture. Obviously, this was a huge story and continues to be, but the idea of using someone who should never be mentioned, in my opinion, again, for a clue really goes against what the history of Jeopardy has been when it comes to proper names.
My question is to you, what if, I don't know what that category was, if it was true crime, wouldn't that...
There shouldn't be a category true crime after someone murders somebody and then gets publicity for it. It just incentivizes other crazy people to say, you know what, I have nothing in my life. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my name on the map. I might be on Jeopardy. I might have a Netflix special about me. I get really mad about this stuff because every time we talk about it, we're like, oh, we're not going to say his name. But the rest of the press does. And I think a motivation for these sick individuals that shoot up schools and that murder other people is because they're broken, like we were talking about, and have nothing in their life, and they will never achieve anything. So the only thing they could do is shoot other people. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to get on the map someday for what I'm doing. And shame on Jeopardy for putting this guy out there. Shame on Jeopardy.
But there's a big difference between being broken, like how we were describing Pete Davidson, who may have had addiction troubles and is making a comeback and is sought the help that he deserved.
You're right. I just was incorporating the two.
Yes.
Maybe I should say shattered. Pete Davidson.
Right.
I wasn't.
No, I know.
I wasn't conflating Pete Davidson with these sickos.
But no, I appreciate your honesty. It's super gross, and somebody made a major oversight.
I think so
too. They need to
too.
check that right now.